Hey! So I'm using my ring light for the first time and I just woke up. I'm doing this tutorial early because I need coffee. And so I thought instead of getting my face did and all that crap, I'm going to make coffee. And I'm going to show you how I make the Starbucks iced brown sugar oat milk espresso. Minus the espresso, just with really strong coffee. All right. As always, with Tilly the Comic Cooks, we have to take a break and do the things we love to do to relax us. And we'll be right back, okay? See you soon. Hey, and we're back. So, since I'm cheap and I don't like to buy things from major corporations, if I can help it, obviously we all have to. This is America. But I found the hack to make the brown sugar syrup from Starbucks, so I don't have to go there as much and spend way too much money. Plus, it's more fun to do it on your own and figure it out, okay? Fight the power. We're punk rock. So what I have here is a cup of water. I have a little cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla, brown sugar, I use the light stuff, and white sugar, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I want to put the saucepan over like medium to low to start. Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong thing. Okay, that was the wrong burner. Anybody else dyslexic like me? Okay. And turn on our burner. We'll cover the bottom of the pan. I think I poured in about 2/3 of it to start. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to show the saucepan and you can see my messy counter. I made pizzas last night, so it's still a little chaotic. And we'll do that on another episode of Tilly the Comic Cooks. But this is Tilly the Comic Hacks. So what I do with my cinnamon is I like cinnamon a lot. They don't really put a lot in theirs, but there is a hint of it in there. So it's up to you how much cinnamon you want to add. And you can always add more later. But I like to sprinkle lightly across the whole top. Do you see that? Yeah, just a fine, fine layer. Okay. Next, I'm going to add the teeniest, and I mean teeniest, like we're talking like 1/16 of a tablespoon. Look at that, like barely. Okay, we want to put some of that in. We can always add more, but you don't want it to be the vanilla stuff. You want it to be the brown sugar. Okay. A few drops of vanilla, sprinkle of cinnamon. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's all finished, just so you know. It's supposed to be still like a light liquid like Torani syrups are. You don't want it to be like a true simple syrup, which is a little bit thicker. That's a 1-to-1. You don't want a 1-to-1. Okay, so we're going to put in a 1/4 cup of white sugar. Sprinkle that on top. Okay. And again, we're at medium low. I have mine on 3. If your dial goes up to 9, I have mine on 3. Stir it up here. Let that heat up and melt. I'm trying to do stuff myself, so again, corporations don't get my money. But I am kind of a bougie bitch. I really love Trader Joe's white truffle potato chips. And they're Wisconsin Kringle from Wisconsin, from Racine, Wisconsin. I grew up in Wisconsin, and I can tell you, that is some of the best Kringle in the world. Okay, so now we're adding a 1/2 cup brown sugar. Also, okay, just packing it in really lightly. And then I'm going to add the rest of my water now, just because I can tell it's going to thicken up a lot. Let's just put the full cup in there, okay? And we'll slowly start stirring it over. I wanted to use a taller saucepan, but I figured it'd be harder to for you to see. And the best part about this recipe is we don't really do much with it. What is that? Oh, I think a piece of paper from the damn vanilla just snuck in there. Or it's, no, it's a dark piece of brown sugar. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting zoned out in the stirring process. Okay. Nothing fancy about the pan, nothing fancy about the stirring thing. I'm actually using my husband's rice paddle, which I'm sure will get me into trouble, but I should probably switch it now that I realize that. Tasting pretty good so far. All right. So, another thing about Trader Joe's I don't like is, why do they close at 9 p.m.? Is it a boutique? Okay. Is this Nordstrom's? Why are you closing at 9, Trader Joe's? Do you know how much money you can make between 9 and 11 p.m.? Like a normal grocery store? Okay. Let's see. Who goes shopping between 9 and 11 p.m.? People who get off work at that time and people who have the munchies. What is Trader Joe's known for? Specialty packaged items that are easy to pick up and either heat up or just grab right from the bag. Oh, munchies? Yeah, you can make so much money, Trader Joe's. Just ridiculous. Closing at 9. Sometimes my bougie ass needs those white truffle potato chips at 10 p.m. Okay? I don't like that spoon either. You know what? I go for a good old-fashioned spoon. So, the other part of this recipe is the coffee. I like to freshly grind my coffee. Everything's starting to break down. You can see it's going to darken up a little bit, but it's dang close. It's dang close. So if you can freshly grind your coffee, I got a pretty cheap, and I hate to do this, but I did go to Walmart. I got a pretty awesome grinder for, I think, around 40, 50 bucks. It's from Krups. I'll show you in a second. And then I got my coffee maker, which we love. It has its own double filter, so you don't have to buy filters. You just have to give it a quick rinse. And it's from Hamilton Beach, and it's their single cup. And they actually have 2. Okay, so I'm going to turn this down just a hair I'm going to turn it down to simmer now. Now that all the sugar's melted, we're just going to let it simmer for a while. Sorry, and I'm back. Coffee, Hamilton Beach, wonderful. Single cup. You can brew on 2 speeds. I will try to pivot my camera as best I can. It's right there. And right next to it is my Krups grinder, which has many different settings from a fine espresso to chunky cowboy coffee. And then that's the Hamilton Beach processor. I'll even show you the way the filters work. It's pretty badass. But I don't want to take your eyes off. So here, this is the bottom filter, and this is the top filter. I fill it up really full, probably more full than they recommend. And then there's 2 settings, regular or bold. I always go bold for stronger coffee. Okay. I'm going to put about this much coffee, not quite a full cup to the top, but probably about 3/4 cup. Because I'm going to brew it at bold, so it'll probably come out to about a 1/2 cup. Okay, it is smoking nicely. It is smoking nicely. Now is where you start doing tastings, okay? You're going to want to not scald your tongue, so make sure you blow it off. That's pretty good. Does need a touch more vanilla. I'm going to add a touch more vanilla. Just a hair. Again, just a couple drops. 1, 2, 3. A few drops. It's got a decent amount of cinnamon in it, but I think it might need a little bit more brown sugar. So I'm going to add, it's still pretty thin, I'm going to add about 1/8 of a cup. I'm just kind of eyeballing it because that's how I cook. 1/8 of a cup, we're going to add that on there too. Try to get this bad boy a little thicker, a little richer. Okay. So now we know we need more than, see, oh, look how much darker it got right there. Just from those 2 little additions. I'm going to add just a tad more cinnamon because what I tasted was not cinnamony enough to me. Again, I like a brown sugar cinnamon. Just going to add a tiny little sprinkle. Okay. So we can see the difference in the color. It's gotten darker. That's a good thing. Again, we're just going to stir it occasionally. So sometimes on TV you hear people talk about stubborn grays, like when it comes to dyeing your hair. I dye my hair a lot, but I call my stubborn grays my parents. My parents are my stubborn grays. Excuse me. Morning sesh. Sorry about that. I know. When I pull into their neighborhood, they live in a retirement community, it's terrifying. Just the people who are like behind the wheel. Heart attack for young people. And by the way, here's a hint. If going 35 feels like warp speed to you, or light speed, depending on your geek steez, stop trying it, okay? Just stop trying it. Okay? Hire an Uber. Hire a Lyft. Shit, call up DoorDash and ask them for a ride somewhere. Like, please. Go over the speed limit, at least 1 or 2 miles an hour. Also, if the middle turn lane concept eludes you, like you can pull into the middle turn lane and wait until you have an opening for the other side, I feel like you should just die at this point. I'm sorry. Obviously, if you're new to driving, learn it. Embrace it. It's a wonderful thing. Just like turning left on yellow, if that little arrow is blinking left, please pull into the intersection. No one's going to hit you the other way. That way, the person behind you has a chance to friggin' go. Driving tips from Tilly. Drive better or we'll fucking kill you. No, that's not the good. It's not a really good theme song, but it could be. I would love to get one of those signs that... Okay, we're going to let this cook. Just let it simmer for a couple minutes. On simmer. I totally just lost my train of thought. Okay, let me grab our coffee. Here's our coffee, as promised. Down to about half a cup. Rich. Okay, I will give you a hint. I do buy bags of beans. Just tried End of the World Provisions coffee. I highly recommend them. They're a Boise local company. They're just new. They're on Instagram. They maybe have 1 or 2 posts up. They're awesome. But I like their coffee. I also like the Hyde Perk coffee that they make. It's actually made in Spokane, roasted in Spokane and flown down. It's very good. But if worse comes to worse, when it's on sale, we go to Albertsons and get the signature Italian roast. It's got a really good flavor, little caramely undertones. So hearty, smoky chocolate, more caramely. Anyway, highly recommend that. All right. See, our sugar is getting nice. See, but it's still like water. So it's still a lot like water. This one is a little bit thicker, just a hair thicker. So we're just going to try to concentrate it down to this delightful stuff. And it's getting there. It's getting there. We just need to slowly steam off some water. All right. Let's take another break. And then I will ice my coffee and show you how I make the drink, okay? Talk to you later. Talk to you later. And we're back. Hi, so I've been stirring this occasionally. I put it in for 5 more minutes on the stove. We really, excuse me, want to get a deepening of flavor. I tried it, and it still feels a little light to me. The flavor is deepening enough, but it still needs more of that brown sugar. And perhaps even a little bit more vanilla. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another 1/8 of a cup, So that means we've added 3/4 cup so far. Because like I said, we want that deep brown sugar flavor. I did taste it against this. Obviously, this is cooled down and thickened up a little bit, so it's going to be definitely deeper. But I'm going to add just 2 more drops of vanilla because that's what my instinct's telling me. So realistically, we're probably at about 1/4 teaspoon right now, at least, of vanilla. I'm going to add just a touch more cinnamon because I love that flavor. We added our brown sugar, and now we are stirring again. And we are at simmer still, which is really all you need. And I ended up grabbing some organic brown sugar from Costco. And I'm just telling you all the places I go. I don't always go. I try not to. Costco's employee-owned, so I try to go there. But I try to buy bulk too because I care about the environment. I know. I'm one of those like capitalist, socialist, hippie environmentalists who want all the marijuanas to be legalized for CBD and THC for the people who need them. As well as, getting the douche nozzles out of Congress who really think women are second-class citizens. I don't think most of us think that. Anyway, it's getting thick. So if we're counting, I have added a cup of sugar and a cup of water. So it is getting thicker. But we added the vanilla, and we're just going to want that to burn, the alcohol to burn off. Add a couple more minutes just for this. We'll give it a taste, and I'll put the final recipe. You can tell I haven't had my coffee yet. I'm saying, oh, way too much. We'll put the final recipe after this, along with the pictures of the stuff that I use. So, add your oat milk first. I like Planet Oat Original. I don't like the Costco oat milk, but that's just me. I have some Chobani in the fridge I haven't tried yet. So far, the original is my favorite. It's not too thick. So I've got my giant venti type glass mason jar. I fill that up with ice. I go over half with the milk. Then I add my cool simple syrup. I'm going to use the one I made so we can kind of see what it looks like as it's going in. I'll just add all of it because I imagine I'll probably need some more. I'm a sugar fiend. But look, you can see it. I love this part. Whoa, man. Dig it. Anyway. And then we add our coffee. Boom. Look at that. And got my reusable straw that I got from The Grove. which is an online, they have an app that you can order household stuff and makeup, and it's all better for the environment, and they're actually wonderful products. I love the laundry sheets. The laundry sheets are bomb, and if you haven't used laundry sheets, shout out to my Aunt Joni for turning us on to one brand, and we decided to use the Grove brand afterwards, and we love it. Tastes just like it. Okay. Ooh. So, sorry for that loud noise. Our sugar is boiling a little bit, if you can see. It was boiling a little bit. So this is where now I'm going to give it one more taste, and then at this point I'm going to assume we did it right because it looks like the right color. Once it cools, again, if it starts to thicken up so much that you're having problems pouring it, you need to, it shouldn't coat the spoon completely. It should just be drip right off, okay? You don't want it to come up and leave like a huge ring or something like that, because that means it's getting too thick. So we're going to shut that off. We're going to let this, you can tell by when you're stirring it, you can tell there's nice thickness to it. And okay, let's give our final taste. It smells perfect. A little cinnamony, a little vanilla-y, very brown sugary. That's what it should be. Brown sugar. Okay. So once this cools, you'll get even more. It's kind of hard to tell when it's hot. All right, but I am going to put some more in my coffee because Mama likes sugar. Oh yeah. That's just a tip of the iceberg, kids. Okay. Cheers. Enjoy your iced oat milk, brown sugar, shaken espresso, or however they put it. We'll just call it the Bougie Bitch Delight. Yes. Cheers. Come check out Tilly's neighborhood. It's once a month, every second Friday of the month at Mad Sweet Downtown Brew Hall. We are also going to be giving away free tickets on Radio Boise. I'm pretty excited to announce that. And you should be listening to Radio Boise, which is 89.9 or 93.5 on your radio dial. And I'm hoping to get on there myself so I can talk up my wonderful comedians. All right. And this great show at this wonderful venue. Cheers, everybody. Oh, and when you're done, pour it into your glass jar. You don't have to refrigerate it. It is stable out here. In fact, don't refrigerate it. All right. Cheers. Forgot to add, pour it into the glass jar. Don't let it cool in the pan because then it could evaporate too much. Okay. And again, if you notice any thickening at all, just add a little bit of distilled water, okay? Or tap water, whatever you use. It's all good with me.